So why is everybody failing at outreach? Why are people sending out 3,000 messages and getting like 5 replies and 0 booked calls, or like 1 booked call? And why are we able to send out 20 messages and get 3 booked calls, for example, or even 5? It is because of the who, the how, the what, and the when. So if you want to make a lot of money, if you want to build generational wealth, if you want to free yourself from this shackles of the 9 to 5 and the rat race, you have to understand this at a very deep, intricate level. You have to understand who, how, what, and when. Those are the 4 pillars of successful client acquisition, because all acquisition is a messenger times a message times the reach, right? Outreach, cold calling, ads, content, sales call, it's all a messenger delivering a specific message to a bunch of people. So a lot of people would argue, oh, outreach doesn't work, or cold calling doesn't work, or content doesn't work. Really what they're saying is either I'm not the right messenger, or I don't have the right message, or I don't have the reach. Most of the time, it's not the reach, because like I said, people send 3,000 or 5,000 automated DMs. So the reach is fine. So who is the person, right? Who is the person delivering the message? And then who is the message being delivered to, which is the target audience or the ideal client avatar, the ICA. Then the how is the method, right? Are you doing automation? Are you doing voice memos? Are you sending them to a VSL? Are you sending them to a video? Are you sending them a PDF? Then the what is the content of the message itself. So whether that's your PDF or your video or your outreach message, it's the template, it's the script, it's the model. And then the when is the timing. When are you messaging? So a lot of people think like, oh, my how is wrong, right? Oh, I'm doing the wrong method. Cold calling isn't working. Maybe I should do ads, or ads isn't working. I should have better content. But I'm going to tell you why 99% here is wrong. Let's look at a simple example. I got this message 2 days ago, right? This was a DM sent to me. Will I reply to this guy? Let's judge him to these 4 pillars, to these 4 main pillars. Because like I said, once you understand these, you're going to make a massive amount of money. First of all, the who, right? Am I the right target audience? Yes, because I can always benefit from people doing outreach for me. I'm a business owner. But is he the right messenger? No. Why? Look at the profile picture, look at the amount of followers, and look at the name. Right? It's absolutely ridiculous. Would I want this messenger representing my business, my brand, my status, my authority, my respect? No. Of course not, right? Because the name is crazy, right? It's a fucking crazy profile. So he already failed the first one. So it doesn't matter what he would have written here. He could have had the best copywriter write the best message ever. I would have never hired this guy, right? Because the who is wrong. Now, if I would see it's the best copy ever, of course, I might be like, I'm going to be honest, your name is crazy, but the copy is crazy good. But how easy is it to have the best copywritten outreach message in the world? Right? It's extremely difficult to do that. You would have to hire somebody for tens of thousands of dollars. So that's not accessible, and that's not the way to go. Is the how good? The method? Yeah, he sent me a DM, which is fine because I read it, right? So at least I read it. The what? No, the what is wrong because it's poorly spelled. There's grammar mistakes in there. And we could argue his copy is pretty bad. But most people don't understand how many of these messages I get. I get these type of messages daily. All of them suck. Hey Leon. Hi. Hey Leon. Hi Leon. And all the people I work with who are doing 200, 300K a month, they're getting all of these messages. Hey Raybean. Hi Raybean. Hey Raybean. Hey, hi. Hey, hi. It's crazy. Right? Nobody gives a fuck about you saying hi to them, right? They want to know, what can you do for me, and who are you, and why should I listen to you, right? And that is all in the who. So if you have the worst outreach message, but it's being written by Drake, for example, or Taylor Swift, are you going to reply? Yes, because it's a celebrity with status. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a celebrity. I'm just showing you that it's not always the what. It's also not the how, and it's not the when. And most of the time, it's definitely not the how, because any how can work if it's done right by the right person. So how is never the problem, because how is just a medium, right? It's like saying, does Instagram work? Well, it works really good for Kylie Jenner. It works really well for me because I make a lot of money out of my following. I only have 1,000 followers. So I would say, yeah, Instagram works. It's about how are you using Instagram to make money, which is about who, right? Who are you presenting yourself to be on a platform? And then what are you sending to people in terms of content, in terms of messages that is attracting people into your funnel? And then the when. When is also extremely important. So for example, let's say I approach 100 girls on the street. Some of them may think this guy is very attractive, but maybe they're in a relationship. And so they're not going to respond to me, right? They will not be open for business. And that's very important, right? So you might have the best outreach, the best video, the best VSL. But if I just bought a program yesterday with all my last funds and now I'm hopping on a call with you, I'm not going to buy. So understand that not everybody is always open for business. If you talk to a girl and she suddenly had a fight with her boyfriend, now suddenly she might be very receptive to you talking to her. But if a girl is in love, it's extremely hard to approach her. It doesn't matter how awesome you are. If a girl is truly in love, right, she will be closed for business. You can have the smoothest pickup line. You can have the funniest thing. It was just that when you said it wasn't the right time. So timing is also extremely important, right? Understanding when is the right time. Now, what's going to make you the most amount of money is by becoming the right messenger. And this is why you see so many people talking about building your personal brand. Now, do you have to? No, you can still make money not building a personal brand. But at least you have to present the right messenger. Because think of it like this, right? Once you do an equation and it's like 2 times 2 times 2, right? What is that? That's 2 times 2, which is 4 times 2 is 8, right? Let's say messenger is 2, message is 2, and reach is 2. I'm going to get 8, right? So I'm going to have a positive result. But let's say the messenger is shit, right? So like this guy who just DM'd me. So the messenger is a 0. Let's say the message is really good. It's a 10. And the reach is a 10. Now, what is the outcome? 0. Because anything multiplied by 0 is still 0. So you cannot think I am going to be successful without optimizing this. It's like saying I'm going to make spaghetti bolognese, but I'm not going to buy any spaghetti. I'm just going to make the sauce. It doesn't work, right? So like, yes, you have bolognese, but there's no spaghetti. So there's no spaghetti bolognese, right? You want to have all three. So you want to become the right messenger and have the right message and the right reach. Now, what is the shitty thing about this and why is everybody so bad at it? Because you cannot learn this from a course, right? This is what you learn from a course. How do I reach people and how do I message them? What should I send them? But this is not in a course. So guys, I thought I'd show you this cool thing. This is a video from me a couple years ago. In this video, I talk about how to overcome anxiety, worry, and fear. And basically, I want you to take a look at the messenger, right? And we're going to look at this from a business perspective. So the person sitting here in front of you right now, talking to you right now, and for this whole video, he has explained to you several things. He is giving you a certain energy, a certain presentation. Now I want you to look at this guy. Do it, you will probably feel better afterward because it's so important for you to grow. You will feel more free and you feel like you have achieved something because you were so scared to do it before. I'm not telling you to do insane stuff that is scary, like jump out of a window, so it's important for your growth. No, I'm talking about areas in your life where you can develop yourself in and improve yourself. Third principle is to understand the concept of delayed gratification. So look at this, right? And look at the person talking to you right now. Who would you rather do business with? Probably the answer is pretty simple. This guy, right? Why? Because I'm exuding a different energy. I'm showing you something that looks more accomplished, that looks better, that looks more improved, more refined. A guy who better knows what he's doing and what he's talking about. If I would say the exact same things as I said in that video, on this video, it will look totally different and the message will be received by you totally different. I'm not telling you to do insane stuff that is scary, like jump out of a window. So I'm not talking about scary things like jumping out of a window because it's good for your growth, right? I'm talking about specific areas of your life where you know you feel uncomfortable, where you know you feel a little bit anxious about it, but you also know intuitively, if I do that, I am going to be better. I am going to grow, right? Same content. Maybe I switched the wording a little bit, but it's the same message, but it's delivered by a different messenger. So even though we're the same person, me a couple of years ago, me now, it's a completely different messenger. And therefore the authority, the respect, the energy, the conviction are all completely different. Now I'm going to point out a couple things about this to showcase my point, which I made earlier, that you cannot learn this in a course, which you probably didn't notice. Now, first of all, what is very obvious is my hand movements, right? If I'm talking right now, even though this is a small circle, my hand movements are natural to my speech. There, it was very forced, right? But I didn't know that. You have to keep in mind, I wasn't feeling bad in that video as in I'm looking a certain way or I'm acting a weird certain way. For me, that seemed natural, right? At that point when I made that video, I was very happy about that video. I was like, yeah, I'm making a good video. I got a good message. I'm talking about fears. This is going to help people, right? So at that time, I felt it was good. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that it looked the way it looks for me right now, which is very awkward, very nervous, very unconvincing, right? That's how it looks to me right now. More free. And you feel like you have achieved something because you were so scared to do it before. I'm not telling you to do insane stuff that is scary. And also, if you listen to my voice, I'm not telling you to do insane stuff like jump out of a window, or that's a bit exaggerated, but if you listen to it closely, you will hear it's a more nervous cadence. It's a more pointy cadence. Whereas right now, my voice is a bit more flowing. Sometimes I speed up, sometimes I slow down. Sometimes I talk very loud. I cannot do it right now because people are sleeping, but you get the point, right? There's differences in energy, whereas now my energy is more solid, it's more confined, it's more refined, whereas there it was very nervous, very pointy. Very like jump out of a window, so it's important for your growth. No, I'm talking about areas in your life where you can develop yourself in and improve yourself. Third principle is to understand the concept of delayed. Other thing is you can see the blinking, right? So you probably didn't notice that, but I blinked like 700 times. Life where you can develop yourself in and improve yourself. Third principle is to understand the concept of delayed gratification. Nervous blink. So these are all subconscious mechanisms going on. If you're presenting yourself, you're doing so much stuff with your physical body that you're not aware of. Right? It's all automatic, and it's all energy that is within you that is expressing in a certain way. What this means is that when you're training yourself, you will not be good right away. This is not possible. Everyone has to start somewhere. Everyone is shitty at the beginning. So naturally, you want to think of delayed gratification. You know that you're there to improve, but as you train, you will get better and you will see the results after some time. Fourth thing. See? And that's very interesting because I was talking about difficult concepts. I was talking about delayed gratification. This is years ago. This is when self-improvement wasn't even really a thing on YouTube. I was already talking about delayed gratification. This is from 2016 or something. I look 14, 15. But at that time, I was like 19, 20. I was talking about these advanced concepts, but it was just in a way that was not very convincing. It was just not with the energy that you want it to be. It had no riz, for example. So imagine I give this guy the current business I now run with Noah, right? I give that guy the whole client acquisition package, the automations, the processes, the message, the templates. Is he gonna be able to sell the same way as me? No, right? Because of his energy, the way he shows himself, the way he presents himself. If me and him are on the street today and you give us something to sell and you say, here's the script, here's the product, go sell it to the people, right? Some low ticket bullshit that they always sell on the street. Who is gonna do better? Me. I'm gonna fucking destroy this guy. Right? Because of the conviction, because of the energy, because of the way I present myself, because of the way I will talk to the people, right? This guy will get pity. People will buy from him because they are like, oh, you know, he's cute, he's on the street, look at him, hardworking. People will buy from me because they think like, I'm getting the solution for my problem. They will buy from me because they want to buy the thing, because of this is the solution they need. That guy, they will buy because of pity, because they feel like, oh, he's out here on the street, look at poor him, trying his best. You know what? I'll buy from him. I feel bad for him. So it's a totally different energy. Even though the stuff I talked about in that video is very interesting in terms of self-improvement and stuff. If I would make the same video today, it would still be considered a good video in terms of content itself. It's just that the person presenting it would be a completely different person, and so the message is going to be received completely different. If a guy is talking about how to not be nervous, but he sounds like this, that's not very convincing. So that's what I really wanted to show you, the difference between messengers, and especially taking myself as an example so you can actually see the transformation I was able to achieve by myself. And like I said, this was done through various people pointing out different things at me, and me also reviewing my own videos, right? Being like, okay, that's a little bit weird. But at the time, I didn't know that, right? At the time, I thought this was a good video. I wasn't even aware of that I was blinking 600 times. I wasn't aware that I was talking kind of like this. To me, it sounded like fluent English. I really didn't know, right? It took me years to develop this. Now, if I had somebody point out like, hey, why are you blinking 16 times? Everyone has to relax your body, pull up your posture, kind of just let your hands flow naturally. Don't try to force some kind of weird thing that you're trying to do here, right? Let it all come to you naturally. Relax in your body, chill out, right? Use your voice this way. Don't say it like this because that makes it sound low value. If you say how I overcame anxiety is because I did this and this and this, that's going to be way more convincing than if you say, hey, you need to do this because that is how you get across nervousness and you need to face uncomfortable situations. For 1 second, imagine that. I'm not talking about the stuff I'm talking about. It's just this guy, but on a sales call, right? And he has to sell. He has to close somebody for a 4K package. Is he able to do it? Probably, right? If I would train this guy, I'm 100% sure I would get him to sell that 4K package. But at that state, if I just give him the script and I'm like, good luck, no way. No way. He would not be making 10K a month next month. He might get lucky and maybe in the second month sign a 2K deal. And that's what you see with a lot of beginners, right? Somewhere in the span of their beginning agency phase, they sign a couple clients, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. If they're the really lucky ones, sign 3, but most of the people sign 1 or 2. They make around 5K. And then that gives them enough motivation to think, I can do it by myself. But they actually got kind of tricked by the universe almost, because that motivation of like, and that ego of like, I can do it myself was wrong, right? Because 10% of people are always gonna. That's also why I say like, this guy would be able to sell somebody, right? I even, back then I was selling stuff, just not high ticket stuff, but he would be able to sell somebody. It's just that if he would be versus me, if he jumps on a call with someone and I jump on a call with somebody, that guy's gonna buy from me, not him, right? That's the difference. So that's the other thing that beginners don't think about. You're not in an isolated vacuum. You're competing, especially if you're in the same space, in the same niche. You're competing with me. You're competing with 10 million other different agencies and coaches who are all selling the same thing. It's just that some people look like this and present themselves like this, and some people present themselves like this. And then there's probably even people who present themselves even at a higher level, and then there's a bunch of levels in between, right? So this guy's time might have been worth, I don't know, $20 an hour. This guy's time is worth a lot more than that, right? So it's just differences in value. The amount of value somebody can give you is not only their message, not only their course, not only the videos, it is the person they are and how they are able to see you, see what you don't know, and how they're able to fill in the missing pieces for you in your personality, in your life, to get you to the desired result. Right? That's very important. You can have the guy with the biggest amount of subscribers, followers. It doesn't say anything about his actual ability to provide you with certain insights about yourself that will allow you to grow. It takes a specific kind of approach and person to get you to understand how to do something the right way, right? Because I can tell you do this, but if I say to 100 people, do this, I'm gonna get 100 different results. That's why generic courses don't work. Personalized, tailored mentorships and coaches and programs, they can work, right? If you have a good coach, if you have somebody that understands how behavior works and how to change your behavior, because that is really what success is. It's the change of behavior. It's me being able to see, hey, these are all the behaviors that make you have the results you have, and we need to swap these for these. But it's not as easy as like, oh, just work hard. Right? That's not what makes you rich. What makes you rich is being able to make decisions in a certain way, look at the world in a certain way, see opportunities in a certain way, right? Because where one sees an accident, another person sees like, oh, that's an opportunity to make money. For example, COVID, right? Some people saw, oh my God, the world is ending. Some people saw, I'm going to make millions of selling mouth masks. It's just a different mindset, a different way of looking at the world, a different person, right? Like I was saying, that is a different person on this video than the person right here. This person can see certain things that person cannot see. And I can see all the things he does see, right? That's the cool thing about growth. I know everything he knows, but he doesn't know everything I know because I'm a further version of him. So I hope that provided you guys with a good example of how growth looks like in person, not just about the intelligence, not just about the knowledge in the brain, but actually how it expresses itself in the physical body and how that massively affects the results that person is able to achieve. And this is why I said it's so extremely important for beginners to invest in a mentor or coach, because those are the only people that can tell you how to become the right messenger. This is the same way I learned it. This is the way Noah learned it. And this is the way we teach it to all of our clients. It is one-on-one telling you, don't do this behavior and do this behavior instead. Don't talk like this, talk like that. Switch that photo for this photo. Don't send this video because that makes you look like a nerd, or this makes you look untrustable. Don't say these words because that makes you look unprofessional, right? It's manual one-on-one training. Why? Because everybody's different, right? It's kind of like training Riz. It's literally, we teach you how to have Riz in client acquisition, right? Which is crazy to think about, but it's like that, right? If I would teach you dating, which I can, it's about becoming a person that is attractive to women. It's not about your pickup line. Simple example. If Drake says to a girl, "What's up, shawty? Come over." Most likely, most girls are gonna come over. If you say that to 1,000 girls, most will just think you're a creep, especially if your profile looks anything like this, right? So It's about becoming the right messenger. Again, I'm not saying you have to become Drake, but I'm just taking the ultimate extreme to give you the illustration so you can understand what I'm talking about. So not only do we teach you the message and the reach, so what to say and how to say it and on which platform and how to automate it and how to systemize it and all of that and how to implement a team and hire setters and closers, we also teach you that one specific fundamental, which 99% of courses is never going to teach you, and that's about how to become the right messenger, and specifically for you. And why is this not like a group coaching or like, you know, why wouldn't I just make a course on how to become the right messenger? Because it's unique to the person, right? You have certain mannerisms, certain behaviors, a certain way of speaking, a certain way of using your voice, right? That might be very specific to you. So even let's say you book 500 appointments and I give you my exact sales script, you might be doing something with your behavior in the way you present yourself to your prospects that might turn them off for all 500 calls, and then you close 0, right? Not because you didn't have the script, not because you didn't know how to do a sales call, but just because something weird you did every sales call, right? Something in your voice, some kind of energy that looks really needy to people, right? Something you do turns them off. And the only way you can find out what that is by having somebody who already knows how it works and having them take a look at you, right? It's kind of like going to the dentist. You cannot make a course on how to fix your teeth because you're not going to be able to look inside your teeth on your own. You need somebody else to look at your teeth and then be like, oh, here's a hole. You got a cavity right here. Oh, there's something weird here. And then they can operate you. You cannot sit there like, let me just fix my teeth. Let's do the drilling. That's exactly how it works with charisma and how to make yourself presentable. You need somebody to tell you, don't do that. Right? That's fucking weird. That turns people off. So that's extremely important. And this is literally how we're able to achieve 100% show up rate, which is crazy because the industry standard is about 70%. Yet we're able to achieve 100 by making it super personalized. And that's also why we're able to book so many meetings out of so little outreaches, right? And that leads to an above 40% closing rate because we built so much trust. And then you get no ghosting, right? Everybody that cancels the call with us, they always reschedule. They always reschedule. So this is why it's so extremely important to fix all of these pillars. And that's what we help beginners do, right? And which is basically why we also have such a crazy guarantee, which is you work with us, and if it doesn't work, right, you get your money back because we know exactly if we fix all of this and we help you with these pillars, like I talk about, we make you deliver a specific value with a specific speed and a specific volume that equates to making 10K a month and then ultimately rising above 100K a month, right? Because that's what we helped so many businesses with by becoming the right messenger, delivering the right message to the right amount of people. Because scaling is just a numbers game, right? Like I talked about on the first video on my channel, which you can watch as well. I would 100% recommend you watch that if you want to understand the exact numbers that it takes to get to 10K a month. And that will get you to 100K a month, right? It's all just a numbers game. Once these fundamentals are in place, you have a money printer. Like I promise you, like I said right here, this is exactly how our business works as well, is by combining the 3 V's, a practical system for growth, which includes the messenger, the message, and the reach, and a scalable service delivery that is always fulfilling on the client's needs and that is delivering the best client results, right? And that is why we have the best client results. That's why we literally have people dancing, right? When they achieve results with us. Because they understand that it works, because they get results, and because they're able to live their life on their own terms. They're able to get time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. So I hope this was super helpful to you. In the next video, I'm going to explain a practical funnel about how to use this. This was mostly just theory, right? Like I said, 100K a month scaling theory one-on-one. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can implement this in an exact practical funnel that will help you book appointments instantly and literally get you to 10K a month in no time. So make sure to stay engaged. I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. Goodbye.